Hello everybody, John Chick12 back here again with another video, and today I bring you some more comic book news. Seeing as how yesterday was a pretty interesting day, we had the whole Joss Whedon thing talking about how he wants to have a female Batman movie, and if you want to know my personal opinion on that, go to my channel where you'll find the video about the topic of that. Anyways, today is all about Teen Titans, seeing as how earlier today we got some leaked pilot details and the official roster for the Teen Titans series. Now, as we all know, Warner Brothers and TNT have teamed up to create a live-action Teen Titans show titled Titans. It's definitely one of my personal most anticipated shows to watch over the course of this year, next to Supergirl and stuff like that, seeing as how this show will not only give us our first taste of a live-action Teen Titans, but also our first legitimate live-action Nightwing, so I can't really, there's nothing to go wrong with that. I mean, it's Teen Titans, Nightwing together. What can go wrong? I just hope this pilot and show is badass. But nevertheless, let's get right down into the show itself. I'll be giving you my personal thoughts on the lineup and then the pilot itself. So let's get right down into it. First off, we have Robin as the leader of Teen Titans, of course. The thing I find really interesting is that he will not actually be Nightwing in the pilot. He won't become Nightwing until the end of the pilot itself. So that's kind of cool that we have this nice transition from Dick Grayson Robin to Dick Grayson Nightwing. So I guess that's pretty badass. Next to that, we have Barbara Gordon returning from Gotham City to help Dick Grayson on his crime-fighting efforts alone without Batman's help, and she will be wheelchair-bound, which obviously, as you all know, means Oracle. The big bad thing about this is that apparently in the show, or at least in the pilot, she will not be called Oracle, so I don't know what the thought process is on that, but overall, the fact that Oracle will be returning since the last time we saw her was Birds of Prey, if I'm not mistaken, it would be good to get Oracle again, so nevertheless, live-action Barbara Gordon, I'm a big fan of. Even though I would have preferred her being Batgirl, you know, it makes sense to be Oracle chronologically through the timeline. So, anyways, moving off that, we also have Raven, and she'll be going through her she'll be presented in her alter ego as Rachel Roth, and then we'll have Starfire, who apparently we don't have any real details on the origin of Starfire in this show, and she will only be appearing until the pilot's finale, so we won't see her until the end of the pilot. And finally, to fill up the roster, we have Hawk and Dove, and in the show they'll be romantically involved apparently, so we have that to look forward to. Nevertheless, it's a pretty decent roster. I mean, like, it's the first lineup, so it doesn't have to be something humongous and extensive, but overall I think it's a pretty decent lineup. I mean, like, we have some pretty awesome big hitters here. We got Raven, Starfire, Robin slash Nightwing, and of course Oracle, which is interesting because obviously Oracle slash Barbara isn't really a part of the Teen Titans universe, so it's kind of cool to have her in there anyways. But my interesting theory on this is that, do you think the reasoning behind Barbara being a part of the Teen Titans show is because they want to have a love triangle on this show? Kind of similar to how CW does it. I don't know. When I read that Barbara was going to be a part of the show, the first thing I thought was, oh, they're trying to do the CW thing, because on the CW, on The Flash, you have the triangle between Barry, Iris, and Eddie, and on Arrow, you have the same triangle with Felicity, Oliver, and Ray Palmer. So I thought, you know, maybe they're going to do the same thing on this show, where they're going to have Nightwing, Oracle, and Starfire. You know, it's because seeing as how Nightwing has had pre-existing, you know, feelings with Oracle, and now that he's in this new team with Starfire, he develops new feelings with her. So I don't know, maybe they're going to try and, you know, kind of fill out that kind of plot device, but that's just my personal opinion on what that could happen. But overall, the lineup as it stands now is pretty decent. I like it. It's alright. Of course, there's, you know, a couple characters that are missing from the roster that I'm pretty sure a lot of fans really want to see, which is, of course, Beast Boy and Cyborg. Now, as we all know, Cyborg is, unfortunately, he could not be a part of the show. I mean, like, first off, Warner Brothers has him listed, of course, for Zack Snyder's DC Cinematic Universe. Of course, Cyborg's going to be a part of Batman v Superman, Justice League, and his own solo movie, which will be coming out 2020. So, Cyborg's pretty much done with the whole live-action thing, so I kind of see why they didn't get him to be a part of the show. I mean, like, from the very beginning, I already knew that Cyborg more than likely wasn't going to be a part of this show because of, you know, Ray Fisher playing him in the cinematic universe. So it doesn't really bother me that much. But the thing that does bother me is the fact that there is no Beast Boy. Yes, Beast Boy is not a part of the show, so I don't know what that could mean. I mean, like, does that mean that he could join the series, later on in the season if, TNT gets, permission to do a full season? Will Beast Boy be a part of it, or will he not be part of it at all? I mean, like, it's a very interesting topic. I mean, I kind of get why they want to do Beast Boy right away because, it is a real serious budget issue, because obviously majority of the characters that they have now, you can pretty much do with standard special effects for TV, like Starfire. I mean, like, the most she can do is fly and shoot energy beams from her hands and shit like that, and Raven, obviously kind of similar, except much more dark and gothic-esque. And, you have characters that pretty much generally do the same. But with Beast Boy, it's a lot more complicated because he has first off, he's green, and secondly, he's, obviously has the ability to shapeshift into any animal known to man. So that's kind of hard and difficult to do on a TV budget. So I kind of see why they want to do Beast Boy right away, but does that mean he'll never appear on the show? I don't think so. I mean, I personally think, like, this is how I would want it to happen. Like, I wish, like, they do Beast Boy, but, like, leave it until, like, later in the season. Or at least, like halfway or towards the end of the season is when Beast Boy gets introduced into the show. That's how I see it happening. It really all depends on how good the pilot does and how many episodes we get in the full season. So, I guess that really depends. And overall, that's the lineup for Teen Titans. And as for the pilot itself, well, we don't have an official, like, confirmed, like, plot for the actual story. We just have some particular pilot script details. So, of course, if you don't want anything spoiled for you, of course, cover your ears or just stop listening to me right now. But overall, this is what happens in the pilot. Dick Grayson, leaving Gotham City over his falling out with Batman the Dark Knight, obviously moves to Boston to try and materialize some kind of new form of crime fighting where he becomes a part of this new team, which inevitably becomes the new Teen Titans. So, of course, that's kind of the plot of the story, and who comes along is, of course, Barbara Gordon, who will be the Teen Titans official information source, and then you have other characters, like Raven, who'll be, carrying her alter ego, Rachel Roth, and Starfire, who'll be, we don't really know a lot about yet, and Hawk and Dove will be romantically involved, and apparently they're going to be, a different kind of version of their characters. I don't know. It's really interesting. But overall, that's kind of the overall pilot plot, and I like it. I think it's pretty decent. It's kind of interesting that they chose Boston instead of New York, but it doesn't really bother me, and because it's just, it really depends on personal taste, and what do you think? New York, Boston? I really don't care. Whichever city they ended up picking as the main city for the show itself, the film, is really different from, the comic book version, so it kind of makes sense if they would, switch things around. But overall, the pilot seems like a solid pilot. I really can't wait to see it. Dick Grayson being Robin right off the bat is pretty awesome and interesting, seeing as how this will be the first live-action Robin since the Schumacher movies, so I hope there's no nipples on the suit. And, of course, the other really interesting thing is that Batman exists in this universe. So does that mean we might be able to see Batman anytime soon? I really don't. That's the big issue. It's kind of like the Supergirl thing. Like, on Supergirl, we already know on that show that Superman exists. We just don't see him. Or maybe we will see him. It's a very conflicting issue. And then you have this show where, you have Nightwing and Barbara, and Batman exists, but do we see him? I really don't know. My dream fantasy, and let me know what you personally think, but my dream fantasy is that more than likely we'll never get a Batman TV show, and that's depressing, but I would be a lot happier if we get at least a cameo or some kind of, consistent references to Batman and his universe, kind of similar to how they did with the Teen Titans cartoon shows, and I would want to see Batman fully appear on Arrow officially. I don't care if it's like the series finale, season finale, the fucking series finale, or like the last episode, if Batman comes in, he teams up with Oliver, they do some kind of fucking Green Arrow Batman type shit. Fucking awesome. I just want to see Batman on TV. Why can't they give us that? But overall, does that mean that Batman could appear someday on TV, seeing as how he's a part of this universe, and allegedly a part of the Arrow universe? You just don't know, folks. It'll probably never happen, but you just don't freaking know. And I really want to live on that universe where that happens. But anyways, nevertheless, that's pretty much everything that's been stated over the course of this day. And when new materialized plot details come up, I'll give you my personal thoughts on that. And when the pilot officially comes out on TV, I'll be giving you my review on that. I just hope it's really badass and Nightwing looks cool as shit, and it makes sense and characters look awesome and whatever, all that awesome shit. And hopefully a cameo by the Dark Knight himself. Not going to happen, possibly, but it would be cool if it did. Nevertheless, in the comment section below, let me know what you personally think about the official lineup. What do you think about Beast Boy and Cyborg not being a part of the show? What do you think about Dick Grayson being Robin instead of Nightwing in the pilot? What do you think about Barbara Gordon / Oracle being on the show? And when do you think the pilot's going to come out? Also, let me know what kind of other various Teen Titans characters do you want to see appear on the show. And subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. I hope everyone has enjoyed. This has been John 12.